You know, for most people that follow track and field, this name is not going to draw any bad or good memories because he was an individual who was unassuming and for many was the best pure 100 and 200-meter star of the 1980s and 1990s. Now, today we're going to be talking about Calvin Smith or Calvin Smith Jr., who is the world record holder in 100 meters in 1983 before the Carl Lewis, Ben Johnson, Linford Christie debacles of steroids and drugs and everything else. Now, a multi-time world champion and Olympic medalist, he finished third in the infamous 1988 um, Seoul Ben Johnson steroid 100 meters. But Calvin Smith, according to many published reports, was the only clean runner in the race. So technically, for the runners in the race that were not on drugs, he was the winner. Now, he was twice world champion over 200 meters in 83 and 87. He also won an Olympic gold medal in the 400-meter relay in 1984. Now, born in Bolton, Mississippi, Smith was basically best described as one of the tinier sprinters in all of the states. At only 5'10", 152 pounds, Smith was basically as what you call an upper body runner. He didn't have the long legs of a Donovan Bailey or Usain Bolt, but he had a great start. He had a great track presence, and because he was so quiet and unassuming, people didn't really take him seriously when he went up against big racers. But we'll get into the world record in a few seconds. But you know, he overachieved in my view and deserves more respect because of it. Now, Smith had a dazzling collegiate career at the University of Alabama, and during his time there, he set the 100-meter world record on July 3rd, 1983, at the U.S. Olympic Festival at Colorado Springs with a run of 9.93. Now, for the uninitiated, the Olympic Festival was considered like a pre-Olympic event, usually held in the year before a major games. And in this race, he broke the previous record set by Jim Hines, which had lasted for about 15 years. Hines' record was set at the 68 Mexico Olympics, and Smith's records and Hines' records were set at high altitude, which means lower resistance, lower oxygen, but better results. Now, at the inaugural Athletics World Championships in '83, before that it was World Cup, Smith claimed gold medals in a 200 meter and a 4x1 relay, which the U.S. actually broke the world record in record time. And he finished behind Lewis in the 100 meters. Now, August '83 also became the first athlete to run under 10 seconds and for the 100 meters under 20 in under 20 seconds for the 200 meters in the same evening at a big event. I think it was part of the Diamond League in Zurich, Switzerland. So you have to understand he had some tremendous short and long sprint value to his race. Now, like I said, the '84 Summer Olympics, Smith finished out of the medals, but again won the gold medal of 4x100. At the '87 Worlds, he defended his 200-meter gold medal. Now, because of the format of the Olympics at the time, the World Championships were held once every 4 years, but currently, since '91, they're held every 2 years. Now, talking about the Seoul Olympics, we all know the background about Ben being caught for drugs and losing the gold medal for Canada. The initial results had Lewis second, Linford Christie of Great Britain, who was later caught for drugs, third, and Smith fourth. When Ben had tested positive for stanozolol and anabolic steroids, Smith was upgraded to the bronze medal position. Um, Now, according to published reports, Lewis had entered the games under drug, what they call review, because he had tested positive at the Olympic trials for a series of stimulants, including ephedrine. Now, Lewis claimed inadvertent use, and he was allowed to go into the games as an approved runner. And Fed green for a lot of athletes to use that to help with weight loss, or is what I call a diuretic. But in many cases, the diuretic was taken to amass certain steroids. Um, Carl Lewis, fellow Santa Monica track teammates, Joe Deloche and Floyd Hurd, were also found to have the same substance, but they were cleared to compete as well. Now, um, Smith would have done quite well actually in the 4x100, and because the states were on pretty well the goal towards winning it, but they were disqualified in the prelims for passing outside the legal lane in the changeover. So Smith was a long-term athlete as well. The later part of his career was named captain U.S. track and field, and included his captaincy included all the major events, including the games and the World Championship. Now, Calvin Smith's son, Calvin Smith Jr., is continuing the great Smith family tradition. He ran the 2, 3, and 400 meters for the University of Florida. He won 16 All American titles, plus one national championship, and was also an alternate at the Beijing Olympic Games. Now, Calvin, like I said, great list of accomplishments. 1980 Pan Am Junior Championships, he won a gold and two silver. University Ad, which had a big participation from Canadian teams through the years. In Bucharest, he won a first and a second. World Championships in Helsinki, two gold, one silver. Olympic Games, of course, the bronze. World Championships, the gold medal in the 200. Olympic Games in Seoul, he was again third. And the World Cup in Havana, he won third in the 100 meters and first in the 400. Now, those personal bests, um, he was the second man to go sub 1, sub 10, and sub 20 in the 100 and 200. Only Carl Lewis did it before him, having achieved it only 66 days before. Now, according to the rankings of Track and Field magazine, he was at least top top 10 in the 100 and 200 for a period of 10 years between 1980 and 1990. Now, in the 100, he ranked as high as second, but was also sixth and seventh for a period of time, and this was the Lewis era. Now, in the World 200 meter rankings, he was number one once, second three times, and third once. So, I mean, really, really a strong combination runner. But if I told you there's an American runner that won a world record at 100 meters, had the world low altitude best time in the 100, set two world records in a 4x100, you would say, well, that guy deserves to be a Hall of Fame. That's what he did. In 2007, he made the U.S. Track and Field Hall of Fame. 2014, Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame, and 2016, Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. But why he has my respect and the respect of a lot of people is because he wasn't scared to say he wasn't Carl Lewis, he wasn't Ben Johnson, Linford Christie. He believed that running was spiritual. He believed in giving his best effort. Never took any drugs. The only thing you compare with him really for strength and Athley Mahorn of Canada and Bruni Surin and Donovan Bailey. Very strong in the 100 and 200. And let me tell you, Calvin Smith never really got a respect as well from the American media. The Canadian media, we gave him great respect and great recognition, but for whatever reason, uh, he uh, he never got the devil's due, as we say. And like he said that 9.79 documentary, 30 for 30. He said I was the only clean runner in the race, and I agree with him 100%. Even Desai Williams, who finished at eighth place at Seoul, who later said he was on drugs. I said, Calvin Smith was our only honest guy in the race. His honesty is going to stand out. He's going to, if he ever, when he passes on in 40 years or whatever, people will note the fact that he was the number three runner of his generation. But the problem is in track and field, there's only number one, number two. There's very rarely a number three. look what happened to Harry Jerome. So nobody remembers third place in track and field, only for some reason first and second. Ovett and Cole and such and such. So on this COVID Thursday, we're waiting a big late winter Easter snowstorm to come into Brunswick. Be careful on the roads and have a great day. Bye.